Welcome back, everyone. So this is a radio that I've actually talked about before on my channel. This is a complete restoration of a 1983 Mazda RX-7 stereo system. This car was fitted with the premium audio package for 1983. This is a fairly rare unit, so I'm told. It is a digital tuning AM/FM cassette. I actually have in my, and I've been over there, I've got the analog tuning version of this head unit. The customer is sparing no expense, and I mean full stop, sparing no expense on this job, on the car, excuse me. So when it came to restoring the radio, he had one concern, and that was that, so this is the overlay that was originally installed on his faceplate. And his concerns were that it was twofold. It's a little scratched up. If I tilt it sideways, you can see it. It is faded, so it's a little bit gray where it should be black. And it's, it's kind of beat up. And he asked if I could do anything about this. And I said, yes, I can. I actually work with a vendor that can recreate any printed material that I give them. And this would fall under the category of a printed polycarbonate overlay. That's what this company makes. And I reached out to the vendor, and they were more than happy to take the job on. So I sent my vendor the original faceplate, which had this attached to it, as well as a secondary faceplate that didn't have that, but it was just a blank. It's actually right over here. So I gave them both faceplates, and I asked them to replicate the original overlay, as they do for other radios that I work on. For example, these are the Panasonic 1267 overlays. I had them I had them make 100 of these for me. This particular company is in the industry of providing overlays to all sorts of manufacturers. I believe even Boeing is one of their customers. So they're the real deal. This isn't just some whack job, sitting in his basement making overlays like I fix stereos down here. Well, anyway, they have never let me down. They always deliver, and but the job is expensive, and I relayed that to the customer, but he said, you know what, I don't care what it costs, let's do it. So that's exactly what we did. Here are some spares that they ran for me, and he actually ran some without the purple window. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So let's go ahead and so this right here, just that, this guy right here, this one piece was $500. Because they're printing them using the same processes that the manufacturer would have originally used, the OEM, it involves making plates and doing a silk screening and some lithographic work and some flood coating, and there's a lot. And there's also laser cutting. So there's a lot that goes involved in recreating this for a small production run of 6. That's how many we made. So it was $500, and I basically charged the customer cost. I did not make any money on these. I charged him cost to get this done because he was already paying me to do the radio over, and so it just kind of worked out that way. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how the light shines through, but let's take a gander at the face of it and kind of see what it looks like. And that is as close to factory as you're going to get. So let's fire it up. Now, right now, lighting is off. So unit lighting is turned, so the dash lights are turned off. So it's running in full brightness. And what I don't like about it is the flood coat, which is as close to the factory finish as they could get. It's still very restrictive. And if I turn the lighting on, it dims so we can barely see it. So what I want to do is I'm going to go and I had him run me some that were clear. Where did I put that piece? Right here. So we're going to see what it looks like with it's a little dusty. We'll wipe it down. We're going to see what it looks like with the clear one and see if that's any better. Let's see what the clear looks like. That's no filtering of any kind. See, that doesn't work because it shows too much. It shows the display like that. We don't want that. So I had an idea. Now, I kind of prepared for this possibility. So that's why I had this created with, this is original. And that's just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. It's too dark. You know, it's way too dark. And I'm not, if it were my car, and again, this is with lighting off. Yeah, it's just way too dark. So we can't have that. All right. So preparing for the eventuality that this might be a problem, I went ahead, since we were paying for the setup costs anyway, I had to run some that were clear, as I mentioned earlier, and that's what this is. It's completely a clear window, but if I put it on with just that, you can see more than you're supposed to. You're going to see the actual structure of the 7-segment display. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little piece of this clear gel. I'm going to get it down to the right size. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to place it right over that LED screen, and we're going to see what that looks like. Oh, that's $1,000,000 right there. That is perfect. It looks better in person than it does on the camera. But it hides the display's face, but it retains clarity better than this actually looks better than factory. And that's going to be it's at night. So at night you're driving and this is what you're going to see. Oh, that is absolutely perfect. Yep. It looks like they got the masking off over here. Well, Oop, knocked my ground wire loose. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect. As good as it's going to get. I'll just put it that way. It's as good as it's going to get. I mean, there's no way we're going to get it any better than that. Perfect, my friends. All right, that's the solution. So using the gel rather than... Okay, so now I got to rework this faceplate. It looks like... Yeah. So we only have the 2 lamps. And it's only lit up. Okay. Yeah, when they printed this, it looks like they got it, the alignment just a little bit off on those, but how about the other one? Did that one have the same issue? Yes, it did. Although not as bad. Not quite as bad. Well, okay. Well, look, we just pulled off the impossible. It's not going to be perfect. I'll take it though. So I think that's going to have to do. I really do. So I'm going to figure out a way to make sure that this doesn't fall off. I'll probably do a better job aligning it, and then I'll make it a done deal. Okay, well, the deed is done. Now, in direct sunlight, you will see there's a trade-off. You know, you do see some of the display, the 7-segment display. But what I'm finding is without that, and the customer at his leisure can swap it back to this one if he wants. This is closer to factory production as it has that printed coating or flood coated. I think it's well, flood coating is when you're coating the entire web with one color. This is sort of a mutant flood coat. But the customer can swap it out if he chooses to. I think it looks better this way. So that's how I'm going to ship it to him. And then, you know, he can, at his own volition, he can do whatever he wants. I am noticing, well, maybe not. I was going to say there could be an alignment issue. Oh, that's why. It's off, on. Okay. All right, so that's going to have to do it then. I think that looks really good. I mean, we just recreated the entire faceplate of the stereo, basically, from scratch. For one radio, for one customer. That was very expensive. So this better look good. The customer better be happy. I put a lot into this radio. I'm very proud of the results. And this customer, I mean, I spoke to him several times on the phone, and he's very dedicated to this project. He wants it to be perfect. I said, I'll do my best. And that's the best I can do. That's all I can do. Flat. Sounds pretty good. I can't really crank it. These speakers cannot handle it, but it is a great stereo. One of the nicest sounding ones I've ever had in my shop. Cassette deck works perfectly on this. Here's a recorded tape from 1988. Oh, that's it. That side's blank. Dolby, metal, APC, FM, AM, memory. The label tore off. I'll have to pick that. So how the memory works on this, since we're here. So you pick a station and you press memory. The memory light comes on, and then you press the preset you want it to be, and it sets it to whatever you want. Actually works. It's clearly similar to the way those push-pull bars work on the push-button radios. Well, like this one over here. You can clearly tell that it was kind of, I don't want to dig it out, but it was kind of inspired by these radios where you tune into a station and then you pull the selector that you want, pull it out, and then you press it in all the way and it locks that station in. I can clearly tell that that's So modern radios are a little more complicated than that. There's a lot more buttons to push and hold it down, wait for the beep. No, this one is pretty similar in design. But I'm going to go ahead and pack this guy up and send it off to his home. I'd like to get it back to its rightful owner. So this guy's been very patient. And by the way, if you're watching this video, I really enjoyed this one. This was a challenge. I'm glad I took it on, and hope to do more.